There it is.
Hello.
So, what are you talking about? What's going on?
We were just talking about the Blizzard, California lawsuit.
So that's crazy, right? How like they had a bunch of people that fucking touch women inappropriately and basically ruin the fucking company and make my game suck because everybody that works there is stressed out. Like, imagine working somewhere like that. You know what I mean, man? Like, that's crazy. It sucks.
It is. It's hard to imagine. You know, what's really interesting is that I remember recently Riot had similar accusations, and I just don't understand how people can run these companies like such a fraternity. It's odd.
To me, like, I think that it's almost a disservice to say fraternity to fraternities, because this is not all the things that happen in fraternities either. These people, like, this, like, talking, like, holding, like, grabbing them, trying to kiss random women, like, touching them inappropriately. Like, this is fucking nasty. I would assume that there are probably more fraternities that don't allow this than apparently some of these tech companies.
How is this happening? Yeah. You know, I was actually surprised to learn from Dan that apparently someone high up in Blizzard was like talking smack about you.
That is so. There's a lot of people at Blizzard that are not my biggest fan. Okay, they don't like me. They don't like the shit that I say. They think that I'm basically a brand risk, and I don't really blame them. The guy said I was an asshole, and I agreed. I think he wasn't happy about a tweet that I made about pronouns. This was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I made this tweet. And he was mostly referencing that. He and I talked to him in DMs. We worked it out. Everything's totally fucking fine, right? But it's just one of those situations where, people will see something like that, attach themselves to it, and then turn things around and use that as like a evidence, right?
I was blown away when I saw the tweet. I was like, this is, and it kind of all melts together into the story, but like, the unprofessionalism of someone that high up in Blizzard to say publicly to one of the biggest supporters of the game, whether they like the shit you're saying or not, you love the game, you play it, you fuel this dying fucking game, and for them to come out and publicly say anything negative about you is so unprofessional and insane.
Well, to me, like I said this before, I wish they would just call me an asshole to my face. I wish that if they, I make a tweet about the game, they don't like it, they say, shut up, Baldy, fuck you, you're wrong. Like, I'd be totally okay with that. It would be 100% fine with me. And a lot of people don't have the same perspective, but the way that I look at it is that I talk shit to them all the time. If they want to talk a little bit of shit back to me, that's totally okay. Unprofessional or not, it's okay with me. But I do think that obviously it's not something that you probably should do.
Yeah, it's I know you probably don't know me, H3. So I actually started working, like I used to work as a commentator in esports. So I actually used to work for Blizzard. I used to cast a bunch of their games, and everything was cool. They didn't.
Wait, I might know you. Sorry, let me Google you because I used to watch a lot of StarCraft. What's your name?
Oh, I didn't do StarCraft. My name's Rich, Rich W. Campbell. But yeah, so when I actually started.
Nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you. I've been a fan for a really long time.
Thank
Sorry
you.
you've had to deal with Mizkif so much recently.
I know, he's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, trust me, Asmon, I know that better than most. But yeah, when I used to work for Blizzard, at first I was kind of their go-to for a lot of different shows. And Asmon and I started a podcast, and right around the time that started, they actually hated Asmon so much that they started to hate me just by association. So it was a very interesting dynamic where I feel like they looked at certain content creators that didn't align with how they viewed their company or how they viewed their players should be, and would try to distance themselves as much as possible from those content. Which is so different than what I think other games
yeah, I mean, distancing yourself is one thing. That means just not associating. But, like, having open disdain for someone that is spending all day for love of your fucking game, if you have feedback or criticism, no matter how harsh you say it as a performer, they should actually listen to what you're saying beneath the harshness. The fact that they even take it personally is fucking, it's so unprofessional, absurd. It's symptomatic of how the culture within that company is so poor. Because, like, they need to not take shit personally. Their primary focus should be extracting useful information from what you're saying and improving their game.
I agree. I mean, I think that's the way a lot of people view it. I can see where people get personally involved, and I'm usually pretty understanding about these kinds of things. But yeah, it does frustrate me a lot to get kind of cold-shouldered, and especially now with all this Blizzard, getting exposed shit. Especially whenever I've been kind of, it's always felt to me like I haven't really been politically correct enough for Blizzard to, put me in the spotlight or give me any sort of credibility at all or really acknowledgement. And then, whenever it turns out that, what I'm doing that's politically incorrect is just nothing compared to what's going on over there.
Yeah.
I feel very vindicated.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, the state, this isn't like someone who's suing them who used to work there. He said, she said, this is the fucking state, bro. This is the state of California. And then, the lawsuit highlights multiple instances of harassment and discrimination that are a violation of state civil rights. And then their response was like so pathetic and petty too. What was their
response?
Basically, they said that, well, they didn't tell us what we were doing wrong. And it's like, I use this example. Is if some employee goes into your building and he shits on the floor and he says, oh, well, it wasn't in the employee manual, not the shit on the floor, and then he complains about being unfairly released whenever he gets fired or told to get the fuck out of the building, I don't think that they need to tell you that. Like, they don't need to do that. They don't need to go out of their way to say, oh, well, we're investigating you because of the fact that people spread around nudes of a girl at a holiday party. Like, hey, Merry Christmas, here's Kathy's vagina.
Crazy.
And then she kills herself. Yeah, and then on top of that,
it's at odds with what they said, right? Because they literally said...
One thing, let me finish the fucking statement about what happened with this girl. Is that the other thing was that we went over to they went over to the company like event. It's like a party or something like that. Some other guy was investigated and he brought lube and a butt plug to a company event. And then this is where the girl kills herself. And then it's found out that on top of that, she's being sexually harassed by other people at the company as well. Holy shit.
Yeah,
sorry, Rich.
I know. I mean, the lube and the butt plug tends to be the smoking gun in situations like these. But
it is.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I thought was weird about the statement, because I actually didn't hear the statement until you told it to me, Asmon. Yeah. And one of the things I thought was so weird about it was there was another statement that was out there where it was basically like, we've been very cooperative throughout the entirety of the investigation. So it was pretty clear that they did know what was going on. It didn't seem like stuff was really hidden, and it's not like it's some little tiny PI that was gathering the data from what we've seen so far. I mean, it's literally the state
This is
of
a
California.
2-year investigation that Blizzard has willingly cooperated in, and on top of that, has taken tangible and cognizant changes that they have made to their company as a whole as a result of this investigation and the things that were being uncovered. And then for them to have the audacity to turn around and say, oh, well, we didn't know what you were investigating us for. If you didn't know about what they were being investigated for, why the fuck are you changing the company culture and making people go to all these training exercises? It's so fucking obviously fake.
You know, the statement I saw that really rubbed me wrong was and maybe one of you guys can pull it up, I don't have it in front of me, but they said something to the effect of, this is the reason why all big companies are leaving California.
Why? Oh yeah, that's right. All the companies are leaving California because they're getting investigated for harboring people that sexually molest other people that are in the company. Yes, that's why. Well, thank God. Thank God.
Yeah,
I hope that they leave in
I haven't heard of any other cases of this, but I haven't seen this much cover-up since, I'm not going to say it. People hate when I make that comparison. The Catholic Church. I'm sorry, but yes.
Well, I'm trying to think about that. Because you're probably right.
It's an exaggeration. It is an exaggeration.
The Catholic Church is way worse. Absolutely.
Exactly. The church is way worse.
And it's absolutely worse.
Yeah.
But like the whole thing is just, I think what really rubs people the wrong way, and this is like, I know obviously like you probably are not involved in the WoW community the same way that I am. So I want to give you two circumstances that have happened, and how Blizzard has approached these two circumstances. First circumstance is a guy had a twit longer come out about him, and this is a guy who is all like, do you know who Swifty is?
I don't.
Swifty's a huge WoW player. He's all around known as a very nice guy, very wholesome guy, has great relationships with the women in his family that he displays proudly and often on his stream, his IRL streams, and he's just very well known as a good guy in pretty much all regards. And there came out a twit longer about Swifty, and he basically said that a lot of the things were not true. And within one day of this twit longer going out, without even asking or reaching out to Swifty or anything like that, Blizzard immediately excommunicates him. You want to talk about the church? Blizzard immediately fucking excommunicates Swifty, deletes his NPCs in game, and this is somebody who was one of the first people to make content for WoW. One of the first, I would say probably the first real WoW celebrity besides like Leroy Jenkins. So they immediately excommunicate Swifty, and they say, you know, well, this is what he was accused of, and this is just all there is to it. Then, on top of that, there was a voice actor for a character in the game who had accusations made against them that were completely unsubstantiated. Nobody had any fucking evidence of this whatsoever. And what ended up happening is this person lost their entire job, their voice lines were scrubbed from the game, and also the classic game as well, and replaced basically overnight. Then, after that information was found out to be fake, guess what changed? Nothing. So these two other people are immediately removed, you know, shoot first, ask questions later.
Right.
Then suddenly, whenever it's Blizzard in the crosshairs, they're saying, oh, wait, you know, things were exaggerated. It wasn't really this way. It's, you know, this is not true. So it's just very funny for me to see this happen after they've treated people with the exact opposite of the mercy that they're expecting government to give them after a 2-fucking-year investigation.
I can say as a business owner, obviously, I'm sure that Blizzard Activision has thousands and thousands of employees. We have 35 employees, you know, over on Teddy Fresh, but like we had to do we all had to do sexual harassment training for the workplace before anything. And if something was going on that I knew of inappropriate, there would be no fucking tolerance inside the company for that. And I'm from, you know, so the fact that they even tolerated this stuff is
well, I think
bizarre. It's inexplicable, and it's so, you know, it's just so odd, and it's so fucked up.
Especially when the company has the stance that it does have too, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Right. The external, they have this external
this image
of being like, yeah.
I mean, to the point of, I mean, it actually changes the content that they're putting out, right? I mean, the literal games that they're putting out, even there have been slight deviations from that messaging that they put out and what we've actually seen. I think a lot of people look back to the Blitzchung scenario during the Hearthstone League as one of those first times where there was a crack in what was simply PR and what was actually going on. I don't know if you guys remember back to that, but that was one of the first times where it's like, okay, maybe Blizzard's just trying to say that this is how they view things at the company, but this is how they really feel.
Yeah, Ethan, do you remember that?
No, I'm not familiar. I didn't follow the
Oh, man.
I kind of like blacked out. Basically, I was like a total Blizzard fanboy growing up. I played every fucking game. StarCraft, Warcraft. I played WoW for a long time. I played all the Diablos. And I kind of blacked out on Blizzard since I quit WoW, like, you know, 10 years ago when I was in college or something.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. And so, like, no, this is like, honestly, the Blitzchung thing this is more impactful because it's actually like, Blitzchung was just like monumentally bad PR, where this is like actual fucking people might go to jail.
This is crime.
So this is this is 100% worse, but in terms